Movie Time is produced by John DeSando. Listen to shows and read reviews online at wcbe.org.
I'm John DeSando.
I'm Wayne Miller.
It's movie time.
And John, I got so full of the Holy Spirit watching this movie that I went out into the garden to try to find a snake to handle. To test my faith.
Well, we've got plenty of snakes and the devil all the time.
Yes. And it was hard to find, but they're there. Somebody with some redeeming features about them.
Good. You'll tell me later, because I certainly didn't find
Well,
one.
they were some of the characters, like Uncle Erskine, the main protagonist himself.
Played by Tom Holland?
Yes, Arvin.
Arvin, yeah.
Arvin.
So you think he's good?
Oh, yes. Yeah, he is.
I can't count the number of people he blew away in this
Well, I know, but, there's just calls for it. It's a mystery movie I was watching yesterday, and somebody was trying to explain to the police officer that I have no regrets. I'm glad what I did, and because you stop to think, obviously, well, we're going to give too much away.
Look at this Southern Gothic tale is set in Coal Creek, West Virginia, and Knock'em Stiff,
Ohio.
real places.
Yes, and what was taking place from like the end of World War II, 1945, to about 20 years later, about 1965. And so you get a real good sense of the feel of the time in Appalachian country.
Yeah.
And and what was interesting to me about this movie was trying to figure out in what location, because it kind of kept going back, shifting back and forth of location, as well as shifting back and forth a time period. Because sometimes they'll say, okay, well, 7 years earlier, so you get it. But that's what, to me, made the movie interesting. It kept me on my toes, the different characters. And I would recommend this movie to anybody who likes some of their like HBO or Netflix series, shows like Fargo particularly.
Sure.
In 2 hours and 18-minute runtime of this movie, it's almost packed in plots and subplots that you would find in some of these better TV series, like Fargo or Justified, Ozark, ones like that, because it's a number of different characters, and you do go back in time and different locations in some of these series, but what a cast of characters.
Well, first of all, we can also call it neo-noir or Appalachian noir.
Yeah.
And a film that you and I liked several years ago, Winter's Bone.
Yes,
with Jennifer Lawrence.
Yes, and that was very good. And you get the sense of the people, and I think also, I think the set design was excellent.
Yeah.
The homes and the businesses, and definitely the churches, but also a killer soundtrack.
Yes,
it was
songs from the era.
From country and western to gospel.
Very good one.
To more
Honeybee.
Music that was more a bit more popular.
Yes.
Like top 40 stuff rather than all country and western or all gospel. But everything, especially listening to some of the lyrics. And the one thing that I'm glad I did, because this movie's at Netflix, and also, and I wouldn't want to check, but it's a gateway. But the one thing I liked, but by the time
we air, it's Friday, it probably still is.
That the you recommended, I'm glad you did for a couple of reasons, and to keep the subtitles on.
Yes.
One, because sometimes these people will whisper, or with the accents, it's hard to pick up what they're saying. But also, I paid attention, helped me pay attention to the lyrics of the songs.
The songs, right, yeah.
And how the lyrics of the song sometimes really highlighted the plot elements.
Well, you make an important point for me. I watch most of my movies
Yep.
on the streaming by putting on the closed caption.
Yes.
And as long as you're not distracted by it, and you and I have watched enough movies over the years
Yeah.
that we can get used to that.
Yeah.
Boy, for me, because I'm a verbal guy, and
Yeah.
I'm listening to everything that's said.
Yeah.
Boy, if I miss anything, it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Now here, it seems to me the operative motif here is retribution
Yes. And revenge.
and revenge.
Yes. But I like your term retribution, because that puts it in more religious undertone,
Right.
which this really did, and particularly because some of the nastier characters in the movie are ministers or traveling evangelists.
You know, I wonder how much of a stereotype we're getting into here
Yeah.
with it, because the minute you see a slick down preacher,
Yes.
you know, he's just not up to good.
Yes, yes, and played very well by Robert Pattinson, who, after his star-making role in the Twilight series as the very pale, but a lot of women find extremely attractive vampire in the Twilight
Yeah.
series, and he makes some excellent choices
Yeah.
in roles that he plays, because he's also out, and I haven't seen it, but I hear he's very good in Tenet.
He is. He plays the sidekick, a very slick guy, but yet he's quite good, and he varies his roles. Also, Pattinson, like Kristen Stewart,
Yes.
has the two of them, and believe me, this is completely opposite from what I had expected.
Yes.
I thought they would just fade out and go
yeah,
on, but they
yeah.
have emerged.
And really indie stars
Yeah.
of indie movies.
Yeah.
And these independent flicks, and they really shine, and he really shines in this one. A very tarnished shining of him because of his pastoral ministrations to the young women of his kind. But one character I really would have liked to have seen more of, to get a feel for her, is his wife, who was a very attractive woman. And I don't think she has a line of dialogue.
Right.
And you just see her twice, like the first time he's
Yeah.
at the church, and she's sitting there as all the parishioners bring him food.
Well, that's you hit on one of my concerns about the movie, and I don't even know if it's a concern, just an observation. There are probably too many characters.
That's why I say that it's like one of
I
these
know.
miniseries that everything's packed, particularly Fargo. It reminds me of something that since I've seen all the seasons of Fargo, and they're all different, and you talk about packed with characters, but you've got like about from 10 to 16 episodes to really flesh out the characters. And I think in this, and I kind of agree with you, it was hard to keep track of, but I think each of the characters were really fleshed out.
Very well done.
Very.
How about the Bonnie and Clyde?
Oh my God! Yes, yes.
Riley Keough and Jason Clarke.
Yeah, excellent job. And I've seen him in a number of things, including a TV series that he was on, and the guy's very good.
Well, there's
and kind of this. At first, I didn't quite recognize him, except you could really tell from his eyes and things like that. But very schlubby and everything, and then this really trashy but very beautiful wife of hers, Sandy.
Yes, Riley Keough.
Carl and Sandy.
Right.
Oh,
and they're not nice to handsome young men
Oh,
whom they pick up
oh,
along
no.
the way
Yes.
on the road.
Yeah, and it doesn't take you long, to kind of figure out that they, and then of course, another, I think, sterling character actor in this is Sebastian Stan, as Sandy's brother Lee, who is first a deputy, but then the sheriff of this very corrupt little burg. And of course, he decides before, it'd be
Yeah,
too
yeah.
much away.
Well, look at Wayne Miller. We have friends who live in Appalachia.
Yes,
We have a particular friend who grew up in West Virginia,
yep,
and
Yep.
we wish that she could verify for us how accurate this is.
But-
I don't know, I've seen Deliverance,
yeah.
but again, I'm wondering how much of this is stereotype.
Yeah.
But it is a most amusing.
But you find this, since I lived about 13, 14 years in Michigan, late 60s up through early 80s. And I went to a Pentecostal church one time, and really, you find these people, characters like this, no matter where you are.
Yeah.
That they have some of the same trials and tribulations.
No, you're right, there's malevolence wherever. The
Yes.
devil is all around.
Well, he's the devil all the time.
All right, so the devil all the time, what grade do you award it, Wayne Miller?
I'm gonna give it a B+.
Good for
I
you.
was like borderline, but I'm thinking, it doesn't appeal to everybody because your
Yeah.
oldest daughter, in fact, did not like the
Yeah,
movie.
not at all, right.
Yes, did not like it at all.
I think you have to have lived a while and be a bit jaded as we are
Yeah, yeah.
to like it.
But also to have experienced some of what the people, go through,
Yeah.
in the back sticks.